Diddy,
hey.
worried about the state of rap. He feels like people are dropping so much music and things are getting diluted. Let's take a look at what he had.
It's just a lot, though. It is literally like too much, you know? It's a lot to take in every day. Everybody saying the same shit in like different ways, you know? These are just my opinions. I mean, I'm not knocking nobody's dream. I just don't want the culture to get diluted, you know? Where it gets so mass produced, it doesn't mean anything anymore.
So do you guys agree with Diddy here? Is rap in danger of being diluted? He seemed pretty disturbed by this.
I would like to jump in first.
Okay.
Last week I said this man is one of the best gifts to hip hop. I stand on that. But this video right here is an older guy trying not to lose his grip, in my opinion. Art imitates life, and hip hop is a reflection of what's going on in society right now. Niggas are trying to eat. Niggas are trying to win. What he's talking about is something that used to be, you can't bring back the real. The average 19-year-old is not trying to hear what he's talking about right now. He does not live in the hood. I say that respectfully. He lives great, and he's rambling. It almost sounds like he's flexing or incoherent, in my opinion.
You're right. You know what I mean? Of course, we're looking at Diddy, who's like, was it 44, 45, you know what I mean, in the back of a Maybach, kicking that black excellence knowledge.
The culture bullshit.
You know what I mean? Of course, you know what I mean? All the kings and queens of Wakanda would be very proud of him. But you're kind of right. Diddy sounded old, man. I ain't gonna lie. Like, I love Diddy, but Diddy sounded old.
He's still a powerful man, and he's got strong influence. But he's trying not to lose his grip. You can lose your grip at times.
This is my issue with him, and he was really trying to relate nowadays to a time that was much different, okay? Back, and I'm gonna say back then, and this is 10, 20 years ago, there was clear hurdles with not having everyone wanted to be a rapper.
Right.
The rappers are the cool guys. Everyone wants to be the cool guy, right? But you needed to have certain things to be able to produce a track, to get a beat, whatever. Nowadays, niggas just need their laptop or just their fucking phone and they can record a whole goddamn track. So you know what it is? Everybody's now a rapper. Yeah. Everybody's in the game. You might think it's diluted, but I'm not gonna say it's diluted because the cream always rises to the top.
I think
there's more competition now.
I think he's rambling, and there's nothing wrong with rambling. I was rambling on YouTube last night. People told me to start, put the bottle down, cut the stream off, nigga, and go to sleep. We ramble as we get older. We look back, and sometimes we use what's called bait and feed. You say shit because you know it's going to cause a reaction, or you don't necessarily want people to think something other than what you're saying.
But what's interesting is he's not usually disconnected, right? I feel like Diddy generally surrounds himself with a pretty young group, and even his sons make music. I think that's why I'm surprised to hear this.
But he's part of the machine.
Mm-hmm. Right. Well, also, to the point, I think he's just talking about like diversity. Like, okay, now most artists now are littles, right? I can't imagine it being all right, we have Biggie Smalls, and then you have Biggie Shorty, or Biggie this, or Biggie that. Like, everybody's following the same pattern. There's more diversity. I understand what you're saying, Star. I understand the points you're making, but think about this. We had a Missy Elliott, who was colorful, vibrant, all types of different ways. Then you had a Busta Rhymes. You had Jay-Z exist in that world. You had Nas exist in that world. So I don't think he's saying that these guys shouldn't be rocking. I'm just saying, like, stop following the same exact pattern. I don't think that's...
Hip-hop is formula-driven. It's out with the old, in with the new.
Right.
Jacking for beats. All that shit sounds fly, respectfully, but niggas is trying to eat, and, you know, the streets gotta eat.
I don't know, man. I can't believe I'm agreeing with this nigga Star, and I'm not agreeing with him on that point we just made. But in principle, yeah. I mean, honestly, I think we live in the most diverse time ever, right? I think people keep getting caught up on what they believe everyone is doing, and it's like repetitive. Yeah. Mumble rap, there's no mumble rapper selling 300,000 records first week. It's still a lyrical nigga selling that. Let's be clear, right? So they have a lane, and sometimes it's more publicized, because you know why? Because they're on Instagram more, they're on Twitter more, they capture the youth a little bit more. So we see them more, but that's not the totality of hip hop.
So you don't think? All right. So
we have a Rap City. Hold on.
Right, go ahead.
We have a Rap City. Then we have a Uzi, right? Then we have like an X. We have a Jordan Lucas who's on to come up. We got a Kendrick. We got a Drake. Some of these guys, they cross over into pop. They're doing multiple genres. We live in the most diverse times. If you only look in, for example, if you only on my Instagram page, you think rap is one thing.
Right.
Because I post a lot of mumble rappers.
Right.
Right? But if you really look at everything that's going on in music today, how could you not say today is not the most diverse music? What he should have said, and by the way, he owns a media company, Revolt, right? And again, I own a media company. He should say, shoot, what we need to do is start giving fair coverage to the multiple facets of what hip hop is.
I feel you.
But acting like they don't exist and everything is mumble, that's a fucking lie.
It's definitely not everything is mumble, but you don't think a lot of these people look like creative players with just changing 1 to 2 to 3, like they dress a lot of them dress exactly the same. And
for one lane.
Wait a second, for one lane, but a lot of them, you might say that because he's in a space where the way he's probably looking at it is, these are the guys that's at the top. These are the guys you do see every day in mainstream. So the guys that are, it may be a lot of them that's doing it all at once, and it's a lot of diversity, but the ones that you're seeing at the top, at the forefront of it, they do a lot look alike, and they do a lot sound alike.
So you find merit in what he's saying?
I find some merit in what he's saying.
I find zero merit in what he's saying.
Zero.
Listen,
fuck out of here.
In all honesty, anything successful will be copied. Doesn't matter what it is. Yeah. Right? So you're gonna have people. So people are gonna say, oh shit, that's what's popping?
Yeah.
You're gonna do it. There's like a million niggas copying me on YouTube, but it's fine because that's what's working. Yeah. Now, what happens is that's just one lane. You have to look at the multiple other lanes. Right? Like, and even with, let's look within quote unquote mumble rap. A Young Thug is so much different, and maybe initially we thought Uzi was kind of like him, but a Young Thug is so much different than Young Thug is so much different than Uzi, than a Wayne, right? And then we could build out so many different type of artists even within just that lane. So when he says that everyone's sounding the same, yes, there's a guy right now named Lil Skies. He has a cadence kind of close to...
He's popping too.
Yeah, he is popping.
He's very popping.
He has a cadence close to Nav, which is an artist signed by The Weeknd. Again, that's a popular flow. Everybody's gonna gravitate to it, and whoever grasps it and runs with it, like with a fucking baton, they're gonna be the person who's the meteor, and everybody else gets forgotten.
And that's what it is.
And people will try to copy it. You think when 50 was doing this thing, and when again, maybe the other popping artists weren't copying them, but there were people trying to come up, trying to copy him. Now we're seeing the people who won't be as big as the Uzi trying to be Uzi.
I get you there.
You get me? So
final thoughts. Don't let him wrestle you down in the mat, man.
No.
All right, bye, man.
No, he's making very, very valid points. The point that I'm making, like the point
he
that
just
I
knocked you out?
No. He ain't knocked me out of nothing. The point that I'm trying to make is I understand what you're saying. I even understand what you were saying. What I'm looking at is when you look at it overall, he didn't say anybody's name specifically. That's first and foremost. He didn't say this name or that name. So it's all what we're assuming based on what we see, right?
That's because he's stunting on niggas. You're from Harlem. You know a stunt when you see a stunt. Come on.
A stunt. I'm not going to call it a stunt. What I will say is...
He was flexing on niggas.
Was he flexing?
He was flexing on niggas.
Flexing? Not just giving his opinion. He was flexing on his opinion. In the back,
what was he riding in? What was that flyer?
He's Diddy. I'm surprised he wasn't in a UFO.
He's looking
come on, stop it.
But that's not. So one of them Wakanda like hand carried carriages and all that.
That's not the issue at all, though. That's not the issue at all. All I'm saying is that I understand somewhat of what he's saying, like because it's a lot of plug and play. Grow some hair, get some facial tattoos, have a melody, and then we all do the same shit. Now you could say, yeah, when Jay-Z was rapping, you had, what's the kid? It's a few people that tried to sound like Jay-Z, but they weren't in mainstream. Now the person who took the copy and paste is just as popping as the other person, with a year or two behind them. Yo, and I'm not comparing Uzi to Skies and nothing. I'm just saying like 5 people, all got dreads, all put color in them, all tattoo their face, all have a certain type of melody and cadence.
The cream rises to the top, and yes, everybody copies with success.
There you go.
I seen Ebro yesterday tweet out some shit. He says there's a new rapper named Young Beef. We need to have a meeting. And I'm like, now we need to have a meeting because there's a rapper named Young Beef.
All types of crazy
There's a rapper
names.
named Young Thug. Then
Right.
we shouldn't have a meeting then. There's a rapper named Lil Baby. We shouldn't have a meeting. So basically, most niggas, they're showing their age.
People been little and young for the past 15 years.
That's my whole point. Honestly, there's a guy, I mentioned him before on the show, and I'm sorry, I gotta mention him again, but his name is Lil Trash. There's
Lil
another
Trash?
guy. Yeah, there's
You
another
dead ass little trash.
There's another guy named Lil Cum Dumps. Yo, there's all types of things, but
Streets gotta eat. Streets gotta eat.
but they're not recognized yet. You get me?
I feel
So am I gonna look at them and be like, yeah, you guys are trying to be like the successful guy, the guy named Uzi who's making millions of dollars and had one of the biggest songs. They're gonna look at me like, nigga, are you dumb? Of course we want to be him.
Diddy was stunting on niggas. I'm surprised you couldn't see it. Are you compromised, my nigga?
Does Diddy need to stunt? We know
Are
he
you
has money.
compromised?
I'm not compromised, my brother.
I don't know you like that, man.
I ain't gonna say compromise. I ain't gonna say compromise. But no, I don't think he was really stunned. I just think he was probably in that Maybach thinking about when him and Biggie was rocking and be like, man, we were so different. And man, that's a long time ago, man. Nowadays, everybody is a rapper.
Right.
Everybody.
Everybody.
Now we don't give a fuck what you say. Just make it sound good.
Yeah, I think you all make good points. You know what I mean? That there is diversity, but also it's easier for everyone sounding alike to become more popular, especially because of streaming. So they do rise to the top. You're saying the cream rises to the top, but
Cream
now
rises to the top.
it's not necessarily the cream now. You could just rise to the top.
What Diddy said, and this is my last point, what Diddy said sounded like a label executive who's frustrated that he is no longer the gatekeeper.
Right.
The gatekeeper is the internet.
Come on, preach.
The
Preach, nigga.
gatekeeper is basically everybody saying, oh, this nigga named Lil whoever. No, we like him. Oh, Lil Xan?
He's trying not to lose his grip. We're on the same page.
So in all honesty, when Diddy says that, it feels like he was saying, yo, listen, man, when we were rocking, everybody had to have their different styles. You couldn't make it.
Yeah.
Nigga, anything goes. There's no more rules.
Sucker shit. Let me hear you say fuck Diddy.
Nah.
Whoa.
Let's get on to the next topic.
Star, you
You
wouldn't
do
say
that yourself. That's all you.
Diddy's my nigga, but fuck that nigga.
Okay, good. I'm glad you got that out of the way. That's all you.
I got no friends. That's how I give it up.
And by the way, because I do respect when an OG like Diddy speaks, Diddy usually has very wise words and a lot of insight to a lot of stuff. I just felt like he was trying to hold on to something that's just, you know, there's no more gatekeepers. You feel me? Like, shit, we had a gatekeeper conversation over here and people said I'm a gatekeeper. I could not like somebody all I want if the people choose it. Like everybody pays for internet and you pay for your cell phone service. If they pick someone and they want to rock with it, it could be copying another person. And I hate to throw my man in it.
Throw him in.
Designer.
Who?
Designer.
Yeah, throw him in there.
Designer got popping off that. Yo, we love Future. You sound like Future. Fuck you, we love you.
This nigga's the truth today. DJ Akademiks.
I'm just being honest. So like, we live in a very different time. Like if somebody came out as a carbon copy of Biggie when Biggie was still alive and he was rocking with Diddy, it would be very frowned upon. But as much as like hip hop purists try to have that conversation about Designer, that nigga was really popping for like a year and a half.
Was.
Okay, so maybe we're talking about longevity.
Fight back, Wayno.
I mean, was.
And
Fight back, Wayno.
No.
Don't let that young nigga take you out like that.
Wayno.
It was.
And that's where he has a point. He says you have to be different to be great. You're right. If you're not different, you're not gonna last. You're gonna be out of the paint. But you know what it is? When somebody's been broke, you know what I mean? Like, I hate to
Change the topic. Wayno's got no comeback. Change the topic.
I hate to even bring it like, I hate to even bring. I won't call his name, but yo, he was like, yo, last year I was hungry. My wife beaters is baggy. Like my kids ain't eating. Now I don't give a fuck what y'all saying.
Church.
So again, even if they're hot for a year and a half, a lot of these people, they're not thinking about a 10-year career. Like, yo, give me the bag like for a year that I could at least get my mom out the hood.
I get it.
Different time.
All right, word. Let's move on.
Ease of access.
Okay, all right.